I'm Loren Fink, and I was in the Air Force in World War II. The Americans at that time was moving fast, and they was getting to everything that they had. Gunner today and goner tomorrow. And I said, that's what they have in it. I mean, and that's about the way it worked. The day that I flew and was captured, I think they said it was 180 B-17s flying that day. They was ready for us long before we got there. The reason, and you know, we sent that many planes on one time. But you know you was going to lose a lot of them. I think 62 was shot down. And then, of course, the captors were already there. I went to camp all right, and it was brutal. I had this shoulder already going. Lots of times you didn't get treatment that you should have got, you know, maybe for days. And after being in there so long, you lost so much weight that I lost over 60 pounds. They didn't give you that much to go on at a time, and you kept dropping in weight. I think they told me that I weighed 86 pounds. When I went in there, I weighed 160. We was building tunnels all the time. We'd build some to let them capture on us, and then be leaving the rest of them go. And sometimes it worked, but sometimes it didn't. The marches would be as the Americans would get closer and closer to them again, then they would march you somewhere else. So that's the reason of all the marches all the time. And they were cruel marches. I mean, you marched it and stayed on your feet, or you was ready for burial. You don't know where you're going to end. I mean, you finally said there is no end. You learn in time going by on something like that you must listen to them and live their route. It's an experience I wouldn't put on anyone if I knew what they was going to go through. I lost some very dear friends, and you know, I'd been even flying with. If I was to call me again, and I'd be there in a heartbeat.